Everybody, Dane here, and I have Rain with me. I want to give a super quick tutorial on how to teach e-collar heels. So Rain has been conditioned to the prong collar. We've introduced leash pressure to her, but now we're layering the remote. We're layering the remote to really kind of solidify her position when walking. A couple things. The remote's going to help us not have to use so much force with the actual leash, but it's going to also help us dial up or down depending on how aroused or calm she is. So it's going to be a really helpful tool to match her state of mind, her excitement, her arousal. So this is how we do it. Whenever she gets a tiny bit ahead, all I'm gonna do is I say heel. At the same time I say heel, I press the button on the remote, I guide her back with the leash, and then when she's back into position, the leash pressure turns off and the remote pressure turns off. So before I start layering the remote pressure with the heel command, I wanna make sure and remind people that you're training at the working levels or the perception levels. So this is the lowest level the dog feels. And all you're looking for is some type of acknowledgement from the dog. So when I tap at a 5, Rain's ears typically kind of go back, and then she looks around for the pressure, or she looks down and tries to sniff where it's coming from. So these like minor signs are telling me she's feeling this pressure, and that's where I'm going to start the training. Essentially, I want her nose parallel or behind my leg. So that's where we like to teach dogs to walk. The more they get ahead on the walk, the less we are in their peripheral. So we really like to make sure they're behind us when we're walking. So anytime she gets ahead, like right here, heel, and I can pull back, off with the pressure. So again, she's at a working level 4. So if she gets a little bit ahead, heel, pull back, off with the pressure. So what this conversation is, I'm telling Rain, you're gonna feel a little bit of pressure when you get too far ahead. And through the leash, I'm gonna guide you back, which is how you're gonna turn that pressure off. So she's learning how to turn that pressure off by getting back a little bit further in the walking position. So right now she's a little bit behind me, which is perfect because the conversation is essentially, I want her to take the back seat. I wanna be able to lead the walk. I want her just to kind of be able to follow me. Heel, off with the pressure there. Heel, off with the pressure there. So again, the remote is acting kind of like our prompt, but all we're teaching her is, hey, when you feel that pressure, just get a little bit closer, a little bit further behind me. So this is also what we call like our pressure on and off conversation or technique. So my leash is loose, and it may not look like it because it's so short, but when I'm walking a dog, especially a reactive dog, you don't need a lot of length in the leash. You don't need a J, you don't need a ton of slack. All you need is the right amount of tension versus slack. So you can hold your arm and walk comfortably, but also if you need to give a correction or a little leash guidance, you can like that really easily.